Hello everyone, I'm Bill Reynolds. I'm the City Administrator for the City of Shakopee. I want to thank you for coming to our video blog today as I give you a little insight into our budget, its process, and more importantly what the effect will be for everyone this particular budget year. It's an exciting time to be in Shakopee. We have a very strong budget for this year, but it's very important to understand that we can only control those things that are within our box, which frankly is the city budget itself. We don't have the ability to adjust valuation. That's something that's held by the county. We have no control over the county budget, the school district budget, or those many other special district budgets that you see on your county tax bills. Remember, I can affect and we can affect the city bill, your city tax bill only. So with that being said, when we first started this process this year, both I and the council had different objectives that we wanted to achieve. First of all, the council was very concerned with low taxes. In case you didn't know it, we are one of the most low-taxed municipalities in the Twin Cities area. And we are very proud of that fact and definitely want that to continue. They also wanted to make sure that we had continued financial stability. And if you didn't know, we just had our bond rating upgraded, and we also had a perfectly clean audit the last time we were audited. And that happens with maybe 10% of the organizations that are typically audited. A full, clean audit, something else that we are absolutely delighted and proud of. And finally, they wanted a stable tax rate. As I'll explain in a few minutes, our tax rate actually went down this year. Again, great positive news for the city as a whole. From my perspective, I wanted to achieve some other objectives. It's very important for me that we have total transparency when it comes to our budgeting process. In other words, I want to make sure you can understand what it is we're putting in the budget. So, for example, if you didn't speak Spanish and I gave you our budget in Spanish and I said, well, I've given you the budget, that's not really transparency because you can't understand it. We've worked very hard this year to transform the budget process in the last couple of years actually, and this year specifically the budget document itself to make it very understandable. We will continue to work on that in the future. The other thing I personally wanted to make sure we did is that our budget actually reflects what we spend our money on. In other words, you should be able to look at something and say, oh, I understand what that's being spent on. And we've tightened our budgets to make sure that we don't have variances or many variances, so you should have a good idea of where the money's going. So what is the impact of this particular year's budget levy? Well, great news. First of all, we will lower our tax rate from 38.521% to 37.12%, which is great. That tax rate is coming down because our pie in the last year has grown. So if we have more taxable value in the city, that means your particular piece will go down. Now understand that if your house value goes up, which again we don't have any control over, your taxes may go up. But if valuation stays the same, even with the addition of an economic development levy, which we did this year to break out to make it more understandable for people to see and know what we're spending money on, even with the addition of that, your average tax value will go down $10 this year. Not a lot, but what it does is it sets the stage for stability for next year. And I've already challenged my staff to take a hard look at where we're going with taxes next year. And my finance director is not very happy with me, but during our last meeting I actually said that people could expect a good tax break next year. That's our goal. That's where we're headed. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call, or you can also email me directly at breynolds@shakopeemn.gov. We'll be more than happy to get back to you with some details, or if you just want to know a little bit more about the process. Thank you.